This is a 2013 Polaris Sportsman 400. I'm going to go over some of the basics of it, and then we'll take it for a test drive and try out a few things. First, I got a little disclaimer. I bought this one used just a couple days ago. I've ridden ones like it, but so there's going to be quite a few things on this one that are not standard, I guess. But I'll give you a general overview of what they do come with. So the first thing is, this rack is an aftermarket rack. What it has is there's a storage underneath it. The guy that put this on there bolted the heck out of it. But anyways, there's a storage under here. It's got a latch, then it lifts up under here. And it's got little compartments underneath it for storage. And then on the back, it comes with a normal rack that's kind of like this, not this metal one. The guy would just use a heavy duty. And then this does not come with it. Everything else on here, I guess not the gun racks or the winch don't come standard as well. Everything else comes standard on this machine. So the first thing you do, it's carb rated, so it's not fuel injected. So when you get on it, you can turn it to here. If it's cold weather start, this is your choke. So you take and you pull the choke, and then your start is just turning the key. There we go. So you got your miles. There's supposed to be a glass piece right here, and then your speedometer. Here's your miles. If you want to change them, over here is the button you push. So if you push this button, you can see it change. That's your trip. That's your RPMs. That's another trip. That's your hours, and then there's back to your odometer. Over here, you've got standard light switch. You got your low and your high. You got your engine off, run, off. And then this is your override. So going forward and high or low, you can go as fast as kind of as the engine limits it. In reverse, it's got a limiter. So I think it's, 5-8 miles an hour. And then the engine automatically puts a limiter on there so you don't roll it. If you want to override that, you just push this button and it'll override it. You've got your selectable two-wheel drive and all-wheel drive on this side. You got your gas tank. And then if you want to get to your air filter, it's underneath here. And so you've got your air filter here, and then down under there is your carburetor. If you'd like to get to your carburetor to adjust it on this particular machine, it's kind of a pain in the butt. You can either go, you can either go through here and get to it if you have small hands. You can take off this cowl and then go underneath and get it. It's kind of just a pain in the butt to get. Then you've got your oil over here. You've got your clutches in your belt right here. So if something happens, you've got to take some of this stuff off to get to your clutch and your belt. You come around the backside and you've got a little storage compartment on the backside. Most of them come with your general tools, toilet paper, whatever you want to throw back in there. It's pretty small. You have a little receiver hitch that comes with it. You've got your independent suspension on both sides, your axles. Come over to this side and you've got your brake and you've got your shifter. So you've got park, reverse, neutral, low, and then high. Keep it in low. If you're towing anything, they're probably going under 15 miles an hour. Everything that I read online says about 15 miles an hour. And so go with that. And then you come to the front. Most Polarises come with a winch spot right here. The winch doesn't come normal with it. It's not a standard option, so you can take and you can put a new one on there. Like I said, this rack is not original. This is an aftermarket deal, and so they just put it on there to protect all the plastics, even though they're kind of beat up anyways. So that's a general overview of the machine. Oh, I guess you got an auxiliary port right here for a spotlight or whatever you need it for. So let's go ahead and take it for a ride. So the first thing we do on this ride is we're going to take and we're going to kind of test how fast it'll go from 0 to 40 in low and then in high. And we'll take it over to a little gravel pit and we'll do some tests on how well it holds back in high and in low. We'll do a two-wheel drive versus four-wheel drive example test, and we'll go from there. So put it into low, go around the corner. On this corner, I'm going to do a little test in low to see how fast it goes. limiting, so let's try it in high now. It was going about 45 miles an hour. I had a Honda Rancher for a really long time, and it was a 400, and this thing has a lot more power to it. I really like the Ranchers just because they're gear driven and not belt driven, but this thing, it'll get up and go. It'll compete with any of those smaller engine ATVs out there. It does not have near the power of a 500 or an 800. If you're looking for those, if you want some raw power, that's what you're going to want to get, is one of those bigger engines. If you're just kind of puttering along, if you're just using it infrequently, you're going on little hunts, you don't need the power, you're still going to get to the same places those other machines are, just probably a lot slower. So I'm going to go up and go around the corner here, and we're going to try a downhill test in low and then in high. Most of the belt machines that I've been on, the low doesn't really hold back at all when you go down these little hills, and then the low, it seems like you gotta push on the throttle just a little bit. They don't have very good engine braking, so let's go give it a test. Handles pretty good through the brush and stuff like that. So here we go, we're down our hill. I'm going to stop it completely, and this is in low. No brakes, no throttle. We stop it. I'm gonna give it a little bit of gas. Yeah, so high does not hold back at all going downhill. It wants to run. That wasn't even a very big hill. Now let's go back up the hill, we'll try it in low. Okay, we're back to the top of the hill. We got it in low. I'm not pushing the brakes, the gas. It wants to go. If I push on the gas, it definitely holds it back quite a bit more. That's pretty consistent with everything that I have seen on these belt drives, that once they cut loose, they just go. If you're low and give it a little bit of gas, it seems to hold it back quite a bit better. So let's go up and around the corner, and we'll go do a 4-wheel drive test run and see kind of how it works. So it's not a big hill, but it's got some gravel, so it kind of shows how everything works. What I like to do is I kind of stop, and then I'll give it some gas until I feel the back wheel start spinning. Alright, so I'm definitely stuck. You can see it spinning down, so picked up some new gravel. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it into 4-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive, and now we'll try the same thing. I could feel it digging. It took a second. These are just stock tires, and once it got going, it was just fine. So the all-wheel drive, they work great on these Polaris. I haven't had any problems with them or seen any problems with them. So we're gonna go ahead and head back to the house and just do a test drive on the way back. I'm gonna put it back into two-wheel drive and put it in high so I can go faster.